welcome back to Poke Nation. Week 2 of the new season, and there's a rumor out there that this man to my left actually went to a football practice this weekend. Is that true?
Yeah, I was there yesterday. We
found
flew on Monday. But yeah,
you found the GPS to get over there on campus, or did you take a map?
There's a lot. I'm there a lot more than you think. I just try not, maybe just sometimes I don't want to go visit with you.
I hear that. I don't blame you.
But I did get the memo. I wore my tan jacket just to see if I can match you today.
Okay, so let's get into Jim Gazzolo, Heath Schwer, Poke Nation Week 2, another week closer to football. What did you think when you were out there?
I'll say this. I told Coach the same thing. We just look different.
Yeah.
I think that our roster is close to where it needs to be for McNeese football. Our quarterback is really impressive from a physical standpoint. We're just better, obviously we have better talent.
Yeah.
We have to translate that into winning games on the field. But you go out there like I did this year, it is an entirely different looking football team than it was a year ago or even 2 years ago.
And today was the first day in pads. I came just from practice. Interesting, you tried to avoid. You went in the mornings to try to avoid the rain the first week. You got rained out the first couple of weeks. They had to push it all the way back. But that's what his plan was. If it gets rained out in the morning, you have the rest of the day to do it. So it worked out okay for you.
Right.
But lots of things planned for football this year. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the marketing a little bit with Zach Kunar, who's the head of marketing. But when we get into this, your Fan Fest decision to go from having kind of a caravan to on campus, why did you want to come on campus, and why did you want to bring people on campus?
I just thought it'd be a great experience to meet our players and just kind of have a festival type atmosphere. We'll talk about this later and announce it later. We will have a quote unquote kickoff at Mockler, where what Southwest Beverage used to be. But we wanted to bring people into
to see the campus,
meet our players, just have more of an intimate family, if you will, experience to really kick off football. Look, we need to do I've said before, football needs to do a better job of connecting with the community, getting out there and letting people touch them, feel them, see what they're about. I think this is a great way to do that. And it's an opportunity to come pick up their season tickets, take some pictures. We're going to have face painting, food trucks. It's going to be kind of a festival, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And there's an LSU team here going to be playing volleyball.
Exactly right. And LSU will be here playing volleyball. So it'll be a good weekend. It'll be a really good weekend.
Well, you're big on that. Now we're going to talk about basketball, because basketball actually starts, I believe, today.
Yeah.
With 2 weeks of practice before the trip to El Salvador, a trip you're going to be on.
I am.
I can't believe they let that passport go through. But
there's 4 donors that have bought that trip at different auctions at the Gatsby and what have you. So I'm going to go and entertain the donors that we have on the trip. Yes, sure. But here's the thing. It's going to be good.
Sure.
It's going to be great. Listen, it's going to be
Let's
great.
hope you get back in the country.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We got police. We got police escorts everywhere we go as a team. It'll be fine. It'll be
I'm
great.
more worried about after the game. So I just want to, yeah. Okay, so the trip itself, kind of an interesting thing is you take your brand outside of the country. What did you, as a coach, you took a team. You've done it. Mm-hmm. What's it get for you?
I think it gets a lot of things. Number one, especially these days, you have so many new players.
Yeah.
This is the most anticipated basketball season maybe in the history of McNeese Athletics. So to have 2 weeks to practice, to get everyone kind of on the same page, there's obviously some bonding experience that you're going to have overseas. And you get a real look, like we're going to go over there. The first team we play is going to be really, really good. And you get a real look at your team in those game environments. It just gives you a head start in the year. But I think from just look at it from this perspective. None of these kids are probably ever going to say, hey, I want to go over here, go have a chance to go see a country like El Salvador, go and do community service there and do a basketball clinic for kids there, which we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's just one of those experiences that, the NCAA allows every so often, and we want to take advantage of it. But from a competitive standpoint, there's no question that it gets us a leg up. And I think that it allows coach and the coaching staff to really watch some of these guys in game experience.
And also the brand. It gets your brand international.
That's right.
It's a way to sell your team. It's also a nice little package to sell for the next group that's as recruiting and saying, this is some of the things we've done. We've gone here.
Absolutely.
We've gone to the Virgin Islands. We've done
right.
these things.
You're right, because obviously you're always thinking about today and focused on today, but you got to also start thinking about tomorrow, like the next recruiting class, and look what McNeese is able to do. We're just not.
Nobody else from the Southland went here.
And that's exactly right.
That's your kind of competition as the Southland grows. You were at Media Day. What do you think of the new Media Day with considering SFA is here, you Texas Rio Grande Valley is here? What do you think of the whole package?
I thought Media Day went really well. I told Chris and his staff, Chris Grant, our commissioner, and his staff, I think they did a phenomenal job. It was a lot better than it's ever been before. And we have a great room. I was in conference meetings last Monday and Tuesday in San Antonio, and the AD room right now, with all 12 of us, is as close as it's ever been. And I think we're at a great number. I think the room is really, really healthy. I'm really excited about where we are as a conference. I really am.
And do you want to go to 14?
I do not. I think we should stay at 12.
But you want to play everybody in basketball?
I want to play 22 league games. I do. But I think that I think 12 is a really, really good number. And for what the perception might be out there, when you sit in those rooms and AD rooms, and when I first became the athletic director, before all the split happened, it was the coldest, most divided room I've ever walked into.
Half of them left.
For sure, as an administrator or a coach. And now the room is just healthy. We have really, really good discussions. And I'm a real proponent for us to stay at 12.
When we come back, we'll talk to Zach Kunar on marketing at McNeese after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
If you're frustrated with your bank and feel like this when you leave, make the move to Lakeside Bank. Voted best bank in the People's Choice of Southwest Louisiana. At Lakeside, the sun is shining, we have the best personal banking, and our customers are always smiling. Find your way to a brighter financial future. Bank happy. Bank Lakeside.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. It is an honor to have the new Director of Marketing, Zach Kunar. Welcome, Zach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, well, let's kind of jump into it. Before we get into all the stuff that's going on and talk about your journey.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Tell Polk Nation, where you went to school, your experience, how you got here, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so I'm originally from North Carolina. I went to school at Liberty University there in Lynchburg, Virginia, where I got my start in sports. Majored in sport management over there, but also interned with their athletic department for about 3 years. When I was there in the fall, summertime came and I interned with our minor league team back at home in North Carolina, the Burlington Sock Puppets.
I love minor league names.
It's a great name. It's a great name. It was a fun time over there. A great brand that they have going on. Shout out to the guys back over there in Burlington. But then also, after graduation, I had worked with the Greensboro Swarm. That's the G League affiliate of the Charlotte Hornets. So I spent a season over there with them as a game day intern. And after that, went back over to minor league baseball and wanted to get back into college sports and saw this job was open. So I applied for it, got hired as the assistant of marketing. And then a year later, here I am promoted. So.
I know. I'll tell you this, though. The thing that I remember going through the process with Zach, Jim, and the thing that was really interesting, like I love the minor league experience.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, when you got to go sell a single A, double A baseball game on a Tuesday, you got to figure out.
You got to be fan friendly.
100%.
Absolutely.
And but I will tell you this, and then we had a vacancy, and it was an absolute no-brainer to move Zach into that, and we're really, he's absolutely crushing it. So let's talk about this, and then but we have something coming up this Saturday called Fan Fest, which was your baby, which was your idea. Talk a little bit and tell Poke Nation what Fan Fest is and what they can expect and why they need to be out here Saturday.
Sure. So Saturday, August 17th at 10 a.m. is when we're doing Fan Fest. So this is basically an opportunity for you guys to pick up your season tickets, your parking passes. We're going to have the ticket office out there selling individual game tickets too for the Southern game. We're going to have Outfitters Inc. They're going to be selling some merchandise. We're going to have some other corporate sponsors out there too. Football players are going to be doing autographs and pictures. Rowdy, the kickers and cheerleaders, they're going to be out there too taking photos. So it's just going to be a great time. And this all leads up to the volleyball game at 12 p.m. versus LSU. Don't want to miss that game. It's going to be a really big game. It's free of admission, free parking. So you definitely want to be out there for that. And then football practice starts at 2:30.
Yeah, and that will be the final. That will be actually kickoff game week.
Correct.
For McNeese because they start then the next week at Tarleton. Okay, Fan Fest itself. You used to do. I want to get behind. You used to do the kind of traveling thing for a couple of years to get out to fans. How important is it to bring fans onto campus now?
Oh, it's very important. Having them come in, see our facilities, see how we do things here, kind of foreshadows like how we do things on a game day, for example. So I think it's very important. Like you said, we've done the caravans and stuff in the past. We went out to them, but this year we're trying to get them here on campus and do that sort of thing.
Yeah, and what if, as far as getting LSU here, it seems like you can get LSU here for just about every sport except basketball. How can't you pull the trigger on
listen,
that?
we can't get LSU to play us in men's basketball anywhere.
Yeah.
We've offered, to go up there, 3 times, and they have no interest in playing Coach Wade and men's basketball. I promise you that.
Okay, Zach, how important – it seems like you guys last year started to really ramp up a lot of in-game events, especially basketball and baseball. Can you bring that to football, or is it just difficult because of the kind of you got to bring kids in, fans down?
Yeah.
How hard is that to bring it in?
Yeah, football is a little more difficult with it being such a bigger scale event. We do have a couple on-field games that we do. Coke kick being an example. So we bring a fan out to 20-yard line. They try to make a field goal. They try to win some free Coke and that sort of thing.
A couple of years ago, I don't want to say this, but the kicker from the Coke kick actually was better than the kicker.
I knew. You know what? Literally, as soon as you brought that up, I knew Gazzola the Great, Mr. Optimism, is going to bring up how many times he's told me, hey, the girl who kicked, you might want to get her some pass.
64%.
We're going to get you out there kicking.
We can't kick a field goal. Or an extra point. Okay, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah. Yeah, no, with it being such a large scale event, it's harder to bring students and other people down on field for that sort of thing. So we really try to do stuff with them in their seats, for example, like being a lucky seat or a lucky row or something like that. Or if it's a dance cam, we're able to use those live cameras and be able to do more of your fan engagement stuff in the stands.
Yeah, because it seems like that's the one thing. A lot of things, you do have a lot of things going on during the tailgating process. And, of course, Friday nights before. How important is that to get people into the building earlier and get them kind of ready for the game? Because you guys are going to play all your night games.
Yeah, right. No, it's huge. Block parties on Friday nights, something that's, really fun and that it's a staple, like you always say. It's a staple to what we do here on football game weeks. Speaking of block parties, we're going to have our lineup announcement on the 2nd, so stay tuned for that. But yeah,
the guy's doing teases.
Yeah.
He sounds like you. He's a mini you.
Hey, we create monsters here.
That's what we do.
Here's the thing, though. He now thinks he's a rock and roll promoter.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh, don't. We don't go there with that enough. We don't go there with that. When we come back with Zach, we're going to talk about what he's got planned for this year, including basketball, which is going to start pretty soon, right after this on Poke Nation.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
If you're frustrated with your bank and feel like this when you leave, make the move to Lakeside Bank. Voted best bank in the People's Choice of Southwest Louisiana. At Lakeside, the sun is shining, we have the best personal banking, and our customers are always smiling. Find your way to a brighter financial future. Bank happy. Bank Lakeside.
We're back with Zach Kunar, the man behind all the marketing at McNeese now, the number one seat. Okay, you get to change offices, you get to change roles. How much have you learned in just the first couple of weeks on this, and how much have you had to kind of field everybody's questions? Because now everybody's looking to you and saying, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I was actually talking with Marcus, a producer here, before you guys came in today.
Shout out to Marcus.
Shout out to Marcus. He does a great job.
Unbelievable job.
So I was talking to him a little bit before you guys came in, and I was just saying, it's different because a year ago today, I was worrying about volleyball. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, I'm worrying about our biggest sport that we have on campus. So it's definitely quite the adjustment. I mean, I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying, where I'm at right now, and things are going really well. I've had really helpful staff here to help me out. I mean, without them, I have no idea where I would be. But, I mean, everything's just going pretty smooth.
Are you going to change any of your staff? Because the one girl's a little mean to me.
Morgan, no. We're keeping Morgan. We're keeping Morgan. Without her, like I said, I have no idea where I'd be. So.
Morgan's mean to me.
Good.
Somebody needs to be.
It's a direct order. Like Jim Gazzola, do not be nice.
Somebody's got to keep this guy in check.
100%. But listen, though, honestly, I think that obviously Zach came in with an unbelievable experience, right? And we talked about it in the last segment, the minor league experience, and watching him on these other sports, and he was obviously involved in football and basketball, and one thing that we do that's kind of funny that Poke Nation might not understand is the marketing team and I meet at 11 a.m. on football game days, and we literally go through, and it probably sounds a little funny, but I make Zach from literally right on the grease board every single thing, here's the commercial, here's this, here's the entire script, and he was involved in all that. So he has taken this thing and ran with it, but I think it's really a credit to the culture that we have, and Zach has really enhanced that.
And you're gonna bring back the horse, right?
Oh yeah, Horse and Rider's gonna be back this year.
It's a staple.
It is a staple.
Okay, can we get rid of the cannon? I don't like the cannon.
Cannons are here to stay.
Yeah.
They're here to stay.
Put some live ammo in it, then I'd watch. Okay, let's get into how much do you do before the game? Because you mentioned but everything's scripted. But we've seen the last couple of years when rain comes, you got to be ready to go on the fly, too.
Yeah.
Because things happen.
Yep.
How much ready are you, and how much preparation do you put into Plan B?
I mean, you got to think of all avenues and all things that can happen, right? Whether if it's, kickoff time being delayed or game cancellation like what we saw last year, you just got to be ready for all things. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it. Like throughout the week and throughout this summer, I've been putting together that football script that you were talking about, minute by minute. It just gives a run of show on everything that goes on from pregame up until media timeouts in different quarters, halftime, etc., postgame. There's a lot of plan, a lot of preparation that goes into it, and it's a lot, very detailed.
And it's amazing because when you come to a game and you're a fan, you just watch the game.
Yeah,
you have no.
absolutely.
And again, I don't expect people to, but there's a lot of work. Like people ask all the time, well, what do you guys do in the summer? We're signing corporate sponsors, but we're also figuring out like right now, we had a marketing plan for soccer last week. We have volleyball this week. Obviously football. So there's so much going on of just from preparation.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing, and I'd like you to elaborate on this, Zach, but the one thing for me is that you become, number one, you're really, really organized, but you're a really good communicator. Mm-hmm. Where did you get and gain those two attributes that are unbelievable attributes to have?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm always kind of been like that type A kind of person. I always like to have everything organized and communicated well before any event happens. So when we get to game day or event day, everything's set up, everything's communicated, everybody knows what they're doing on a game day. And so there should be little to no questions asked when it comes to that.
Yeah, that preparation seems one thing, but also you guys have brought a lot of different excitement, especially in basketball here, not only with the team, but a lot of things on court. Can you get more, is it hard to get football involvement with fans, harder than everything else because they're outside because of all that? Or do you have some things planned to where kind of get some things going?
Yeah, yes and no. Football, it's a little bit harder for them. There's definitely more guys on the football team than there is basketball, that. But, as far as, for example, we had football media day a couple weeks ago, and we're starting to roll out some content that you guys will see. It's basically just fun content, get to know the guys, get to know their personalities, connect with them a little bit more, kind of like how you've seen, for basketball and stuff last year. So, we plan to do that across all sports, just be more out there in social media and just make sure, everybody's seeing our personalities of our student athletes.
Yeah, the social media thing really bumped up last year.
Yes.
And it was a big hit. It's a little tougher for, obviously, football, you're not going to get to all the guys. Mm-hmm. But getting that component kind of brings a face to what people are watching on a Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, last thing in this segment for me is we have the best game day experience in FCS football.
We have the best weekend
100%.
experience.
100%. It's not even close. But the plans and the tweaks that Zach and his team have brought to me, it's going to knock this thing out of the park. So if you think that this was that this was the best experience in FCS football before,
just
wait till this year.
Yep, just wait.
And if you need a used car, go to We'll be back when we get Coach's final comments on This Week in Poke Nation.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
I'm looking forward to the first football game. And maybe last year it rained. And you had big thoughts and it rained and we had to wait around an hour and a half.
I know.
It was kind of but that's why I said plan B is always important. Okay, I want to talk to you about this. This is a big subject. The NCAA is, I don't know where it is in the process, but it's going to extremely, I think, a huge bump in number of scholarships for almost all sports, including football, basketball, baseball especially. Everybody says, well, that's great, But for the smaller schools like yours, somebody's still got to pay for those scholarships. You just because the NCAA says we got to go to this, you can't necessarily go to that, can you? You have to be dollar smart.
We can't do every single sport, every single limit, and no one in our conference can do that. And we actually had that conversation amongst ADs, and I would look for the conference to come out. I think as
would the conference put caps on and put their own numbers?
We've talked about that. I'm a proponent of that. I think that from each institution should seriously sit back and say, okay, as a conference, like what do we really want to invest in? What's the most ROI, if you will, and kind of just go through each university and from a conference, make a decision. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But
and then you got to worry about, are you behind in the FCS football numbers and all that?
Right. But here's the one thing I think that it gets missed. We have 180 full scholarships. Okay, we have almost 400 student athletes. So we have 220, say, simple math, that are paying something to go to school here. With enrollment being a huge factor in this administration and with our executive leadership team led by obviously our new president, investing more into scholarships to get more students to come is something I think we need to think about and talk about. Just the numbers say that, but it's just changing so fast, Jim.
Yeah.
Like I know we got other topics, but like from NIL to the scholarship limits, it's changing so fast that we spend a lot of our time on my team trying to forecast where we're going to land and how can we take advantage of it.
And one of the things I always worry about or question is when you go and you give the big guys more scholarships because they can afford them.
For sure.
Or they can go out and pay NIL money if you don't give it. Kids don't have to have scholarships to make money on now anymore. They can get the NIL and that can pay for everything anyway. It seems like it's harder to get talent to want to start out at least at FCS levels or at this level because there's so much more money out there on the bigger level.
I think so. But at the end of the day, and I've said this forever, even before there was NIL, is do you want a kid that wants to play?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I truly believe that young men really want to play. Let's just take football and basketball.
I was going to talk about your football,
Okay. So there's opportunities if you put up numbers and play that you have a chance to get drafted or go to the CFL or whatever. You have a chance to play professional sports.
Yes.
But if you don't play, you don't have any film. You don't have any stats to go on. Same thing in basketball. Like, obviously basketball is a global sport.
Yeah.
But if you don't play and you don't have success and you don't put up, have stats, who's going to sign you to a contract?
McNeese is a pretty good example. Patrick Richard and others have made a lot of money in Europe.
That's right.
And making money, and that's an opportunity that they don't get if they don't get numbers.
And if Patrick Richard doesn't come to McNeese and goes to, I don't know, LSU or University of Houston, and he's the 8th, 9th, 10th guy on a team, probably never gets that opportunity.
Never.
So it comes back to you have to play. So, yes, the world has changed. Yes, it's become more competitive. But I think that our coaches that are successful are really still tapping into the long-term benefit of actually playing and experiencing. And the other side of it, too, is when you're done playing college sports, you're done. Like so you only have a short window of time, and you want every minute you spend on the bench or not playing, you never get back.
Yeah, I think your football team is a prime example. You got a lot of kids that are coming back from FBS levels that didn't get a chance to play that are saying maybe they're disenchanted by the big schools.
Exactly right. And when you're 18 and you want to walk down the hallway and say, look where I went, that's cool. But eventually the competitive nature comes out and you want to play.
Well, there you go. And shockingly, this man actually found out where football practice was for once.
Oh, my gosh.
So we'll see if he's back next week with more football tales from the gridiron with Heath Schroyer on this Poke Nation. We'll see you next week.